You know, markets have been roaring. A lot of good news from Fed side. These are always fickle and hard to predict. But I want to share with you two stories on areas that I've taken profits on. Because maybe you have always been having this question, Josh, when should I exactly sell? So today, I think I have answers for you. So continue watching on. Hi guys, welcome back. Let me share with you the first story, which is a company that I've held for more than a year. I'll show you some data. And it's a company in the SaaS space, SaaS, Software as a Service. Second story is a company that's locally listed, one of my biggest holdings. But I've decided to lead with this because I think it's impacting each and every one of us. You know this whole AI boom, correct? Everybody is using Copilot nowadays in the corporate world. Everybody is using ChatGPT in schools as well as in anywhere that you need documentation. I've also been adopting. So the $1 million question, agentic AI, will it become so powerful, these agents, that we do not need so much software moving forward? Think about it. Software is for us to do it ourselves. But agentic AI, if experts claim it what to be, they can train it to deliver employee-like kind of output. Why in the world do we need to do our own work using software? That is why there's been a sell down in terms of the software space. For myself, I've sold away my position in Zero Limited, which is an accounting software company. At the bottom left, you realize I held this for almost 2 years. Position was very small, realized gains also very small. Don't worry, the next one is going to be big. But I do understand that there's now a wave of concern regarding all software companies. That's why Zero's share price has recently corrected. They are not the only one of which Mr. Market now is getting scared of. If you look, Monday.com, a big plunge in terms of share price. If you look, HubSpot, another CRM related company, seeing a massive sell down in share price. Last but not least, Salesforce. Once a poster child from SaaS and cloud computing wave up, take note again, back in 2021, all these tech related companies selling softwares were all bidded to the sky. Fast forward to 4 years later, sentiment has changed, correct? It shows that nothing is permanent on the market. There will always be periods where an alternative seems to challenge status quo and market is just concerned enough to sell down for a prolonged period. So if you're holding stocks of any SaaS companies, do think through your thesis. I think this change is permanent. I think this change is very challenging. I think this challenge from AI will bring valuations down significantly. With that cleared, let's move on to the second story I have for today, which is my second biggest holding. My biggest is Palantir. And Palantir is not in today's discussion because I've not sold any of my Palantir stock, even though they've corrected very recently. The one which I sold a bit is actually on PropNext, and I'll explain why. This video was actually inspired by a comment from John, who's in the Telegram community. So if you're keen, it's a private group to prevent bots and scammers. Look for my links below to join my private group. And this question from John was, when will we consider trimming PropNext? Any ideas to share? Will it be a good long-term hold? Great question, and it depends on two factors. Today I'll expand a bit more for you. The first question is, how do you feel if prices drop back down? Now PropNext is $2.30. What if it drops back down to $1.30? Which if you think back 1 year ago, fantastic price. Make a lot of money already, right? Maybe you watching today, you have also made money on PropNext. So as always, smash the like button. There are wins, there are losses. And I don't have a crystal ball, but I share with you what I like and you decide for yourself, and sometimes it can be profitable ideas. So what if PropNext drops back down to $1.30? By then, if you have a lot of regrets, you want to sell, then you might as well be selling some right now, correct? What could drive it down to $1.30? Very simple. Cooling measure coming from government. Then all the rosy forecasts of property start plunging. Or something nuclear happens around the world, etc, etc. These kind of extreme situations shouldn't be ignored. But a lot of times, it's all up in your mindset, correct? If it drops to $1.30 and you sell then you don't have real conviction to hold it. And it is the second point. What do you feel is the maximum of its share price? The maximum, of which anything is beyond your imagination. Let's use PropNext again. Back 1 year ago, it was 80 cents. Tell someone it's $1.60 worth, they would say you're crazy. But today, $2.30. Unimaginable, correct? Almost a 3-bagger if you bought it correctly. My average is about 90 plus cents, and I'm at a 1.5x. The main thing is this. Multi-baggers, they are crazy to imagine. The reason why it's crazy is because nobody can forecast numbers to jump that much. you will have to face a wall of argument that it's too expensive already. Valuations are rich, you can never get it more expensive. Not true. Multi-bagger surprised on the earnings upside beyond anybody's imagination. Palantir, $20, $30 a time, nobody would think it's worth $100. Today, $150 is after a correction already. And I'll share a bit more on Palantir sometime down the road. If you're curious what my thoughts are, smash the subscribe. I will be releasing a future subsequent sequel addressing my approach towards Palantir and what I'm exactly buying right now. So speaking on the point on how multi-baggers are always hard to imagine, let me use PopMart, my own journey with it. PopMart, again, if you don't know, owns Labubu. You know already, right? So if you think about this, wow, Josh, you started buying PopMart around here. 2024, wow, you bought around $80, $90 Hong Kong. Seems expensive already there. It was once $30. You crazy or not? You're buying at a high what? When I pitched this to private clients, some of them also had similar concerns. But what I saw in PopMart was a rapid expansion of stores, a rapid climb in terms of its profits. The problem is I'm only analyzing numbers. I'm not a fan of Labubu. I don't know at its core how far it would run. But I do know in the next few quarters at least, it would shine. So buy an all-time high and don't be afraid. PopMart shares went up. Wow, Josh started to sell a little bit. Quite clever, not bad, made 30% gains easily. And when it shot up, wow, one bagger, sell it off. From $30 to $190. Crazy, right? What really, right? But my average cost is $80, $90. Still one bagger plus. You would think now that, Josh, wow, you're Warren Buffett. You're a genius. So clever. So clever, so clever, so clever. Oh no, price continue to go up past $200. Aiya, you're not that clever after all. Now $280. And now, if you see PopMart, $328. How much money did I leave on the table? Absolutely a lot, right? Every day is rubbing in my face again. I share with you this to humbly tell you, nobody has a crystal ball, including myself. I eat a humble pie to become a better investor every day. And I share with you my misses, I share with you my mistakes, because we are all in the path to building our own wealth for our families. I want to drive from the point. PopMart has done a 10x already. And when you do a 10x, nobody can imagine how far it would run. PopMart may dominate US market and 10x its profits. Nobody know. And again, because I'm not a toy fan, the vision I have for it is only that far. I was quite happy to take a 1.5x, leaving so much on the table. Now the question draws back to you. How well do you know your own stock? If you took the suggestion to buy PropNext because of me, you must do the homework. You must feel the ground. You must know the company inside out. And that's where you have the conviction to imagine beyond all. For me, PropNext, if it gets to $5, not a target price, just a stretched imagination, there must be something spectacular happening at the showroom, and for a longer period than 2025. What if showrooms are continuing to do well in 2026, 2027, and no strong cooling measure comes about? PropNext, $5? Maybe Nobody can say no. And more importantly, there's a lot of hot monies pouring to Singapore small cap because MAS is committing $5 billion to acquire good companies. But evaluations for PropNext are substantially different in a few years' time. I don't know, but I'm used to stretching my imagination of how a multi-bagger will work. Today, it appears that I've cashed out some in PropNext. It's true. I'm using this approach I did with Palantir also. I will keep 70-80% intact. What I sold is only on my Tiger brokers, realizing 34,000 gains with unrealized 32,000 plus. In my CDP, I just checked, it's 120,000 plus in gains, and everything is still kept intact for the multi-bagger. That becomes a lucky break that you know how to hold on. Lucky breaks don't come all the time. I waited so many years for it, and when it's here, there must be some investment maturity to execute it. Warren Buffett always says this, investment is simple but not easy. If you need help in your investment journey to build towards retirement, that's my specialty. Look for my links below. I can build you portfolios. I can advise you what needs to be changed in your entire finances. Handling thorny subjects and decision making, stepping in your shoes. These are raving reviews from my private clients, and I work on a fee base because I think that's the best approach and gives me independence in terms of how I can think for you. Hopefully you've gotten some nuggets of wisdom, when to sell, when to hold. If you're a PropNext shareholder, the biggest hint I can give to you is that I'm holding a large part of it. And if you get to a higher leg sometime down the road, I will be celebrating again with you on this channel. Thank you very much. Check out these previous episodes and I'll see you in them too. Take care as always. Goodbye.